This is Northumberland. In the far northeast corner of England, on the border with Scotland, you'll find the freshest air you'll ever breathe. Stunning landscapes and matchless history. Nowhere else in England can you walk all day and never see a soul. But Northumberland's more than just big skies and wide open spaces. It's a county with a real sense of character and pride. In this film, we'll visit some of the obvious places that you'd expect to see, as well as some of the less obvious hidden places, set in some of the wildest and most spectacular scenery in the British Isles. The hills and valleys of the Northumberland National Park are littered with evidence of elaborate burials that were a feature of life and death 4,000 years ago. On a lonely hilltop, in the middle of a field, on private land a mile northwest of the village of Duddo, stands the time and weather-worn ritual circle of standing stones dating back about 3,500 years. There are 200 listed buildings in the Northumberland National Park, 250 scheduled ancient monuments and a World Heritage Site, the Roman Wall. This is the Roman Wall that we all know the Emperor Hadrian built to separate the barbarians in the north from his empire in the south. But what's not so well known is that until about 400 million years ago, northern Britain and southern Britain were on two different continental plates, separated by an ocean that was 10,000 miles wide. Southern Britain was way down in the South Atlantic where the Falkland Islands are today, and northern Britain was way up where Canada is today. Gradually and forcefully, these two continental plates drifted together and joined along a line underneath where Hadrian's Wall is today. About 50 million years later, that's about 350 million years ago, liquid magma from the Earth's core was forced up into cracks in the overlying rock, where it cooled and solidified without reaching the surface. Within the last 2 million years, a succession of ice ages has ground and scoured away the overlying rock to reveal a ridge of this quartz dolerite, or wind sill as the geologists call it. This ridge runs the entire width of Northumberland from west to east and finally disappears into the North Sea, where it's last seen as the Farne Islands. After the Romans left Britain in 400 AD, the native people took dressed stone from the wall and used it to build their houses, field walls, roads and churches all over Tynedale. Hexham, capital of Tynedale, is the obvious starting point for any visit to Hadrian's Wall.
You get a pineapple, melon, mango and bananas. I got 2 pound tropical selection.
Hexham wasn't a Roman town, although many of its buildings were built of Roman stone. This is the beautiful Abbey Church of St Andrew, the largest and one of the oldest churches in Northumberland, and one of the finest in Britain. St Wilfrid, a monk of Lindisfarne who'd become Bishop of York, built the church in the 7th century. Here, in the basement crypt, you can see where Wilfrid's workmen reused dressed Roman stone from the fort at Caustopedum, modern-day Corbridge. These stones are placed with the rough surface facing out, so that decorative plaster, which once lined the walls, could get a better grip. The crypt had been lost when invading Danes burnt the church to the ground, and it was only rediscovered in late Victorian times during building work. Set in the roof and hidden by decorated plaster for more than 1,000 years is this remarkable Roman stone. It commemorates the Roman Emperor Severus's son and successor Antoninus, also called Caracalla. The name of Severus's other son and heir, Geta, was removed from the stone and from every other similar commemorative stone throughout the Roman Empire on the order of Caracalla after he had his brother Geta murdered. St. Wilfrid built his crypt to display the sacred relics of St. Andrew that he'd brought back from Rome. You can imagine on a rainy November Saturday in the year 680 a constant procession of pilgrims queuing to pay for a glimpse of the relics through the gloom of the crypt, lit only by the light of a smoking wick.